Hello everyone, welcome back to FX Capital Analysis and Forecasting. We're approaching another week, which is week 12 of 2021, which is we going to end our first quarter of 2021. Very exciting year. Now we going to focus and going to plan ahead what we're going to achieve for quarter 2. To the end of quarter 1, we're going to have 8 top pair and 4 wildcard, quite a long list, but this is the opportunity that we need to take care of, and we're going to focus what the action that we're going to execute, what the plan and what the trading plan we're going to execute for the whole year. So this will be the quite a long list of forecasting price under development. Some of price need time for develop, and some of price we're going to execute for this week of next week. However, we always follow our trading plan, and we're going to execute whatever that we forecast. So first pair, we're going to start with AUDCHF. AUDCHF, we can see the price now. The blue line or red line that we put here is the resistance line, which is at the top of the structure. At the moment, what I expect price from this area, we're going to move to the downside, very clean and easy to understand. So we're going to forecast and move, sell this setup. However, we need to see in lower time frame what the structure going to offer us. This is the lower time frame at the top of the red line. We understand we expect price to sell from this blue line. However, we understand as well the structure always to play a big role for the price movement or the price action. This is considered the language of the price, so we're going to follow whatever the market telling us, and we're going to follow the structure. For this moment, I'm going to wait price make a third touch from here. I'm going to set my entry or entry order from here, but my stop loss will be above the blue line or the red line. For the argument's sake, I'll just set this stop loss within 40 pips, but we're going to let the price develop first, then we're going to decide how many pips we can to put as our risk. So this will be the setup move to the downside. This is considered high probability trade, and we're going to focus within the structure and execute when the price touch that area. Next, we move to Euro AUD. Euro AUD at high time frame. High time frame, we can say this is one big structure which is considered as a slight ascending channel. But in the moment, price now at the one touch, second touch, third touch, we're going to focus price move to the upside, continue with the structure. So something is really makes sense. We have the backtesting area and we understand the structure. Whatever the structure movement, we're going to focus and execute based on our plan. In this moment, we did enter this position for last week at this area. We did forecast price move to this area, to the downside. This is considered a big descending channel. And if you're able to execute in this area, it's good. Now we're looking for any flag from here to move to the upside. So for the moment, I will let the price develop first before I decided to enter my position. If the price move to this area again, create a small arc from here or play any flag from here, I'm happy to buy the setup move to the upside. So hopefully you guys understand the structure, the pattern, and the bear flag that we're going to take for this position, and we're going to enter within our plan and set our stop loss within the structure. Next, we move to GBPCHF. GBPCHF at high time frame. This is high probability position as well. So this will be the setup that one touch, second touch, third touch, and price move to the downside. This is going to be a different little bit approach because we understand price already break the structure of the high time frame. If we move to lower time frame, this is the line that break the structure. So it's quite a corrective structure, you can see from this area. In this moment, I did a pattern separation from here. We let the price develop. This is first touch, second touch, third touch. If you sell the setup from the area, probably you tap out from the break even. However, price create a double top from here, move to the downside. If you're able to close or bank some of profit from there, it's good. However, we're looking for the next opportunity before the price move to the downside. In this moment, I will just let price to create another touch from here, because this is one important area that price keep tricking back or pull back from this area, and I'm going to sell move to the downside. Normally, I will set my stop loss above the structure, within the structure, and going to sell the setup move to the downside. However, I understand probability and possibility always play a role. From here, we understand that price able to move to the outside, make a multi-touch area from here. So take care when you enter double top or double bottom and understand the structure, then you will be fine and understand whatever that you perform or execute. Next, we move to USD JPY. USD JPY, you can say in high time frame, this is one of the high probability area as well. We forecast move to the downside from this multi-touch area, similar to this one touch, second touch, this is small arc. Then we're going to sell this area from this. It's very important that you forecast from the high time frame to lower time frame, so you can see the biggest picture when the price movement. From this area, I wait for price to retest this area again to sell the setup. If price impulse to the downside, I just wait for any clean flag that are willing to take as a bull, as a bear nature, and move to the downside. So this will be the setup for USDJPY. Normally the setup will be stop loss always above the structure, that is our safety net, and move to the downside. Just set any stop loss in the moment. So we're going to move to the downside, always stop loss above the structure. And next we move to gold position. Gold position turn into a valid position because we are at the middle of structure. Now we did forecast this one touch, second touch, and third touch. Price now did move to the upside at the bull nature. Sorry, it's a bull nature. So now we're going to see what's the opportunity that price able to offer us. In this moment, price moved to the upside as a ascent channel. Now we going to wait price development, and what I'm looking for is to understand this is descending channel, sorry, ascending channel. The nature of the ascending channel, there's indication that price able to move to the downside. So this will be the setup that I'm going to sell this position, move to the downside as double top. However, this is valid trade. I always put my intention and parity on high probability position. I will enter this position if the price show us very clean structure. Whatever parameter I set, I'm going to follow. If I willing to take a valid position, it depends on what station I'm in on that moment. So there will be the setup. If I want to enter this position, I will set my stop loss will be above this double top. So probability will be 56 pips, and we see this movement move to the downside. So there will be the setup for this gold position. Next we move to Euro NZD. Euro NZD price still under development, and we expect price to move to the downside from this area, move to the upside. And in 1 hour time frame, what I'm looking for is this is big descending channel. So I will set my entry for short term sell from this trend line, and I will sell the setup move to the downside from this area. Zoom in to see the clear picture. So I'm looking for valid position from this area to sell to the downside. So hopefully you guys understand the price action normally that happen for this pair. This pair quite follow a structure. However, we're going to set valid position from here. That's all for this pair. Next we move to GBP USD. GBP USD at high time frame, we can see this is one resistance and support from this area. Price did in the middle of structure. However, if we zoom in the middle of structure, you see the price now pull back from the impulsive move and create a correction. So this is impulse move, pull back, create a correction. Very typical move if you tell me that we did have the position or structure that price pullback and create a correction from after the pullback. So in this moment, what I'm looking for is a valid position. I'm going to wait price to create another touch from here and sell it from here. So there will be a valid position after the multi-touch area. We understand this is a middle of structure. If we're able to take a valid position from there, it's good. If we're able to capitalize, it's good as well. So this will be the plan that we're going to execute. Next, we move to NZDUSD. NZDUSD at high time frame price did pull back from this area. Price impulse to the upside, move to the downside and create correction. If you want to see clear picture, we move to 4-hour time frame. This is 4-hour time frame. Price did impulse to the upside, pull back, create correction from here, and we're looking for the flag from this area and sell to the downside. So there will be a clean move. We move to 1-hour time frame. We did have this pair last week in our forecasting. So price need time to develop, and we set our entry and ready to sell, move to the downside as a sell setup. And hopefully you guys have your own plan and ready to execute whatever that you plan, and everything will must be supported by backtesting, record. You understand whatever they execute, then you will be fine. You just need to be a consistent for the long term to earn this as a long term. Next, we move to our wildcard. First wildcard will be AUDNZD. This pair going to have a few more weeks to develop. We did forecast this position move to the downside after multi-touch area. If we count how many pips move to the upside, is about 200 pips. So it will take time for this pair to develop. So we just forecast whatever that we're going to execute for the few more weeks start from now. So that when the price happen, we not hesitate to execute. Next, we move to Euro Canadian dollar. Euro Canadian dollar. This is high time frame. A high time frame, we expect price to go to this multi-touch and move to the outside after one touch and second touch. This will be third touch from this area. So if we count how many pips from here, it's about 250 pips. So we let the price to develop and execute after the price show us the opportunity. Third wildcard will be EURGBP. EURGBP, similar situation. We wait for price to move to this area and move to the upside. And the measurement move to downside about 280 pips is quite some time to develop. So we're going to forecast after a few more weeks, and we're going to put our eyes on this pair and understand the price movement. Final pair for you for wildcard will be GBP Canadian dollar. GBP Canadian dollar. There's a two movement from here. Either we're going to buy this setup from this multi-touch and sell this setup from this double top, move to the downside. If we count how many pips to the downside, it's about 345 pips to the downside and 745 pips to the upside. So it will take a moment for us to let the price develop. Okay guys, hopefully you guys take note for this forecasting for this week. It's week 12 forecasting market breakdown. Plan your trade and trade your plan and execute whatever that you plan in the system. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube and follow our Instagram. Goodbye.